And now I'd like to hand over to Jodie.
Oh, I'll just share my screen. There we go. Can everyone see that? Yeah, cool. So I'm Jodie. I am the apprentice on the Yorkshire Beach Rangers project, and I'm just going to do a little presentation today about some of my volunteer experience, my apprenticeship, all for the benefit of marine life, really. But there you go. I thought we would start with a game. So can you see that? It's called, my colleague created it. So it's called Kerno No, because that's how you would say it in Cornwall. I do not have any idea. But it's quite fun. So yeah, there'll just be pictures on the screen and you've got to say whether you can see it in Cornwall or not. But it basically applies to the whole of the UK, don't worry, it's not. And there's no like trick questions as well. It's not like just found in Devon or something. So is this working? Yeah, there you go. So yes, is that what we're saying? Cool. So yeah, it's a common dolphin. We regularly see them around here when we go sea watching. I'll tell you what they are. So this is a ballan wrasse. What we were just like, yes, no, yes, yeah, no. This is actually a picture that my colleague Matt Slater at the Trust took. Yeah, in the kelp forest. Here we go. So it's a southern right whale. What are we thinking? I was like, I don't know. No, they're actually found in the southern hemisphere. So no, nowhere. I don't know if they've ever had one stranded or anything, but no, not regularly seen around here. This is a Pacific oyster, so they're an invasive non-native species. So there actually is quite a problem down here because they're forming so many large reefs, and they're actually like quite sharp as well and sort of taking over sort of the marine landscape. Oh wait, I've just answered the question. I've realised that. Cool. Next one. This is a tiger shark. What are we thinking? Is that no? No? Yes? No? No. This is actually from a friend of mine on Facebook, but no, they're I did go out to Bahamas and I was meant to do a tiger shark dive, but I never actually got to do it because of the weather or stuff. But no, I don't think they've ever been. They might have been spotted maybe near, but I don't think so. Cool. So this is actually my picture. So a clownfish. Are we saying yes for the Nemos? Okay. No, I don't think. No, but they are very, very they are very, very pretty. I do love them. So it's a grey seal. Yes, yes. Yeah, so we've actually got 40% of the world's population of grey seals is in the UK. So it's actually almost half of their populations are here. Admittedly, you get them in Cornwall, but you actually get quite a lot of them in Scotland. But they are beautiful to see. And then a Risso's dolphin. No, yes. No, yeah, you can find them around here. What I love about these is, can you see they look like they've got like scratches on them? Like it kind of looks, so from what I know, I mean, I'm no marine expert, but the older they get, the sort of more social interaction that they have with each other, the more they sort of get these scratches and it sort of goes white. So the whiter that they are is the older that they are, I think. Yeah, because when they're juveniles, they're actually like really, really grey, which is cool. And then a stalked jellyfish. So these are a species of jellyfish, but they look nothing like a jellyfish, basically. Yes, yeah, no. So yeah, you find these in rock pools. They're really really small, and they're in like the seaweeds and stuff, and I'm rubbish at finding them, but when you do find them, they are really really pretty. So pink sea fan. No, yes. Yeah, no, divers regularly spot these sort of in like deeper waters. And so this is a scarlet, we're getting quite, specialist here, scarlet and gold cup coral. These are. No, actually you can. So I went rock pooling the other day, and admittedly they're really small, and I found 2 of these, but you really do have to hunt and know. And I went to the same place that I was taken last time where they were, so I sort of cheated because because I know that they're around there. But they're very pretty, and they are that colour. An ocean sunfish, or mola mola. What are we? Yeah, no, these are again that I've never seen one myself, but no, you do spot them from the cliffs around here. And a dugong. So this is actually a picture that my friend Lewis has taken. No. So this was actually taken in Egypt. But I just love them. They look so weird, but they're so cool. A bottlenose dolphin. Yes. Yeah, no. Yes, we have bottlenose dolphins around the UK. I think research done down here in the southwest has shown that we've got like a resident pod, so that stay around the southwest between like Cornwall and Devon and Dorset, and there's a pod of 29 of them. So you have the resident pod, and then you have like the offshore pods, so the ones that sort of travel through here. But no, we do have like a resident pod. And a St. Piran's crab. So but it's a species of hermit crab. Yes, yeah, no, we do. So this is a really cool story. So back in 2015, I think it was, these hadn't been found on our coast for 50 years, and then someone found one on a like Cornwall Wildlife Trust survey. And it was this big thing, and then Gillian Burke on Springwatch done the competition to see what we should name it, and they named it the St. Piran's crab after the patron saint of Cornwall. I hope I got that right. But yeah, no, we regularly find these now, and they're sort of moving sort of up the coast and into Devon. So yeah. And then the last one, Portuguese man-o-war. No, so this is taken in Cornwall. If you saw the background, I don't know if anyone knows it, it's St. Michael's Mount, which is where the castle is. So it's really, I don't know a lot about these, but sort of every winter we have like mass sort of strandings of them. So everyone's like, oh, they're a jellyfish, but apparently they're a symphonoph, or however you say that. But no, they can definitely sting. But yeah, they are a very weird species. But yeah, so that was the Kerno or No game. I'm sorry if no one if this is so specialist, but this leads onto a good point of, so when I moved down here, in 2015, I had no knowledge of the marine environment whatsoever, really. I'd been on family holidays down to Devon, but that was sort of it. So yeah, I came down to Cornwall to do a degree in marine and natural history photography at Falmouth. So yeah, I had done photography at A-level. I just really liked photography, and then saw the course and it just looked amazing. So I come down here, and this is where I really started to get fascinated with like wildlife, and especially the scuba diving that we was doing. And like I said, I know previous sort of knowledge, but I just thoroughly enjoyed it, really. So yeah, these are some of my images. So this sort of shows where I was lucky enough to dive around the world. So I went to Egypt and Yeah, I didn't see a dugong, unfortunately, but I did dive with clownfish plenty of times, and that's what I did my project on. I went to the Galapagos. I was very lucky to go there, and actually in that picture is a sea slug or a nudibranch. They're quite cool. You'll probably see throughout this, but I like the smaller things. Definitely the things you have to sort of look out for. And then I did my final project, so I went out to Antigua and did some diving over there, and the Bahamas. So I did my project on, like, they have a shark sanctuary out there, so for 20 years they've banned longline fishing and the sharks have just flourished over there. So it was sort of in Galapagos really where I got to work with some amazing charities, and this was sort of my first take on, like, using photography for conservation benefits. So we worked with the Charles Darwin Foundation and the Galapagos National Park, and in exchange for giving them our, like, photos, letting them use our photos, we got to go to parks and beaches that were not open to the public. So we got to see some pretty cool places. And yeah, that was, so I'm actually the one in the orange, in case you haven't realised, and we were going through this, and I was the only one to get my welly stuck, and my sort of foot came right out, and then I stood in all the mud, and I literally couldn't get the welly out, and I was definitely embarrassed. It's probably my short legs, but but yeah, no, I had an amazing time, and this was sort of my first experience sort of working with conservation charities. So yeah, when I got home, it was sort of in my third year, and I realised that I was doing all this diving abroad, but I wasn't really doing anything in the UK, and I sort of wondered why. And at the same time, so I lived in Falmouth, and there was a group called Falmouth Marine Conservation who were just sort of starting up. So I got in touch with them, and I became their digital communications officer. So I did all the social media, and this was sort of a good role for me because, coming from a visual sort of background, I just love really doing posts and sort of trying to engage people in our marine life, but sort of online. I think people think conservation is sort of hands-on, and actually conservation involves lots of different roles, and I definitely liked doing this side of it. So as well as doing all the social media stuff, I got more and more involved in the committee and just helped out on events and our talks, and also sort of our, like, citizen science work that we do. And just really enjoyed it, and really enjoyed getting to know everyone, and also them sharing their skills with me as well. So actually the picture in the middle of the four of us, that was my first Your Shore conference, and that's the first time that I heard about the Your Shore Beach Rangers project, and I just remembered being so inspired by all of these people that were there. And there was a woman there called Deb Rosser, and she was the one who sent Michael Gove the refill cup. She founded Refill Cornwall, and he was seen with this refill cup walking into Downing Street, and it went viral, and I heard all about that. And it was an amazing day. But I was very lucky to be a part of this group. And then through the group, I sort of branched out a bit, but got to know the other sort of marine conservation organisations in Cornwall. We're lucky that we sort of all work together and all get along really well together. So I did my marine mammal medic sort of training, so that if any sort of whales or dolphins sort of strand, then I can go out and sort of help them refloat it. And this is where I sort of got involved in the Wildlife Trust in general, and was doing sequest and shore search training. So that was my journey, and all of this sort of led me to getting my first paid job, and it's on Your Shore Beach Rangers. So yeah, one of the 31 Albright future projects. And you can see in the little animation all them orange dots, and that's actually all that, the tentacles are the shape of Cornwall, and then the dots are all of our local marine groups. So Falmouth is one of them dots, and all the other places are them dots. And there's actually 12 of them there, but because I counted, and we've got 17 now, so it's sort of expanding all the time. But yeah, the main sort of aim of my project is to engage communities in the marine environment, but also work with young people. So we've got a Beach Rangers Academy, and we've got we work with schools and sort of youth groups, and we try and get them involved in the project, but also get them involved in the local community groups as well. So you have, you know, adults, but you have younger people working on the same issues together. So yeah, so as well as, so I do get to go out and assist on events. It's not the main part of my job role, but I absolutely love it. So going for a snorkel has been amazing. But I also do all of our social media work, and yeah, that's been great. So recently, during lockdown, we had Shark Month back in April when the lockdown just started. So we transferred all our events online and did so much online, and that was amazing. We engaged so many people, and so many people were interested. I've also done takeovers on the Wildlife Trust Instagram for National Marine Week, and you can see I've created our Love Your Beach Week 2020 map. So yeah, there's so many things going on all the time, but I absolutely love this more creative side, and just creating graphics and doing our social media. I've sort of realised that's where my skills lie, in this sort of area. So yeah, as well as doing all of that, I've been really grateful for the extra opportunities. So obviously joining the youth forum as well, and meeting other young people, that's been amazing. And through I'm going to thank Lydia, because it was Lydia's help as well that helped me get a chance to talk at the Now for Nature conference at the Natural History Museum in London. So like Chris Packham was there, Stephen Moss was there, it was amazing. But yeah, Lydia definitely helped me get that opportunity. And obviously going to Belfast, so the picture on the right is our little team when we was in Belfast, and I'm really glad that I did that sort of early on in my apprenticeship, to understand how my project fits in with, you know, the Our Bright Future programme in general, meeting all those people as well, project staff and young people. It's just amazing. And then I've also done my snorkel instructor training, so so I can go out and help the team lead snorkels, and that's definitely been great, especially the snorkels that we do with the younger kids as well. Yeah. So I've done just 5 ways to sort of start your marine volunteering journey. So for anyone interested that might watch this afterwards, you know, how do you get started? So the first one, get in touch with your nearest marine group. This is if you do live near the coast, obviously, but you'll be surprised at how many small groups there are, whether it's like rocky shore surveying groups or seabird groups or beach cleaning groups. There's so many different kinds, especially we're lucky in Cornwall to have so many different ones, but there's lots going on in the UK. I've seen other projects, other wildlife trust projects across the UK, and yeah, there's lots of groups to sort of get involved with. So send marine life sightings to your wildlife trust. So down in Cornwall we have something called ERCUS, so it's environmental records for Cornwall and the Isles of Scilly, but I imagine lots of wildlife trusts obviously have teams that are to do with data and wildlife recording. So anything that you do see, even stranded animals or anything on the rocky shore, just sort of take a picture and maybe send it to them. And then so our Beach Rangers Academy, I don't think a lot of people know this, but it's sort of Brenda, who leads on the academy. She does work with people outside of Cornwall. She's had calls from lots of people across the UK, so you can get the passport and you can do it from your own home. So so it's similar to Duke of Edinburgh Awards, so there's bronze, silver and gold. But if you haven't seen it, the details are on our website, but I just wanted to highlight that you can do it from anywhere in the UK. You don't have to be down here in Cornwall. And then if you're still in lockdown or maybe you can't get outside, there's so much right now on volunteering for marine life online. So there's a great page on the Countryside Jobs website, and they have so many opportunities for volunteering for wildlife and all the different projects you can get involved with. So whether it's just, a lot of I've seen has been like counting seabirds and stuff from like webcams, but that stuff is so cool. And there's a website called Zooniverse, I think I got that right. That's all to do with that. So if anyone's got some free time and maybe wants to do that, yeah, take a look. And then just take part in local and national campaigns. So there's been one this week actually on highly protected marine areas, and they've just released a review for that on World Oceans Day on Monday. So that's a big sort of campaign that the Wildlife Trust are involved with. But there's also smaller, more local campaigns, like we have an environment agency campaign down here called Yellowfish Project. So it's where you have a template and you spray paint this sort of yellow fish next to a drain, and it's meant to highlight to people that, you know, what goes down the drains will end up in the open like oceans, and make people think about that. That's one that I really love. We've also got one Cornwall Wildlife Trust one called Hands Off Our Crawfish. So crawfish, it's like similar to a lobster. Their numbers sort of deteriorated because of overfishing, and they've only just started to come back. So that's sort of one that they're leading on with divers and sort of boat operators to say, you know, don't catch them, just sort of leave them where they are. But yeah, so there's lots of national ones but also more local ones that you can sort of find out more about. And then so this was just a question for you guys. So obviously not everyone does live by the coast, but sort of what is one thing that you can do for marine life from your home? So just think about the really small little things. So does anyone have an idea? Oh, can anyone unmute themselves?
Lauren or Lawrence, I'll let you go first.
Well, I'm not sure how little a thing this is, but be careful about what seafood you eat.
Yeah, that's definitely a big one. So the Marine Conservation Society has a good website where they rank sort of seafood and say how sustainable it is, and give it a score. And then we have also something similar down here in Cornwall as well. But like I was on it the other day, and I was in a supermarket and I actually just popped on it before I bought the fish to see what sort of score it was. So yeah, definitely that's something that you can do.
Yeah, I don't live near the sea, but I think something I could do would be find out more about marine life and kind of educate myself more about it, and then hopefully more opportunities in the future to be more active.
Yeah, definitely. There's so much on it. Obviously, a lot of people are interested in it, and luckily there's so much online about it. So yeah, Kath or Lydia, do you have any more? Don't worry if you don't.
No, other than keeping an eye out for more campaigns like the Marine Conservation Area, because I do follow various organisations around the country. So, but yeah, I'm also landlocked, Lauren.
Yeah.
I live in a landlocked county too, and I think that it's another thing is encouraging other people in our areas, particularly those of us that are a little away from the coast, to recognise and remember that what we do has an effect on the oceans.
Yeah.
Because I mean, at least in Cornwall, it seems, you know, with such a long coastline, it must seem fairly close.
Yeah, no, I think like I was saying about like Yellowfish Project as well, that's a really good one. It makes people actually think like, oh, like what I am putting down my drains does actually have an impact. Yeah, I don't know whether I think that's run throughout the country. I'm not sure. but it's definitely a good campaign. But even things as well, swapping plastics, you know, to like having a bamboo toothbrush and stuff like that, you know, every little helps.
I think if I connect more local actions to like global scale across the board, not just focusing on one thing, but sort of explaining how it all interlinks, because I think I forget about that sometimes, and how I raise awareness of stuff.
Yeah, no, we've actually, you just made me think, sorry, it's just like words dump, but yeah, we've got a webinar tomorrow on my project that I was meant to bring this up, but we're doing webinars throughout June, and anyone who is interested can come along to them. But tomorrow's webinar it's called More to Shore. So it's a project in Cornwall called Upstream Thinking, but sort of what runs through the rivers as well. Also, like it impacts on our oceans. But yeah, no, you just made me think about that. So yeah, that's pretty much we done. I'm so sorry if I sped through that. But I've also got another little slide just to say I wrote a recent blog actually on the Beach Rangers website, just about my apprenticeship in general. Even though that was hard, it could have been so long. You know, I'm not very good at keeping it short and sweet. And I've also done a blog before about underwater photography, but a lot of people might think that's like professional, but it can just be like a GoPro, like if you have, or I've got a little rock pooling camera. But yeah, if anyone is interested in more, feel free to contact me in any way, or yeah, read a few of them blogs. But cool, that is me sort of done.
Okay, thank you, Jodie. That was really good. That was really nice to hear about all your experiences and actually learn about marine wildlife that I didn't even realise were in Cornwall, which is really bad.
Honestly, like I said, when I started, I honestly knew nothing, and I did learn a bit on my course, but I think it's the practical experience that I've got, and just you do have to practice, like going rock pooling. It sounds stupid, but like ID and stuff is so hard. Like I don't know how people know Latin names of species. Like it's just so, unless it's really like catchy or something. But no, I've honestly learned so much during this apprenticeship. Yeah.
If there was one thing that you could tell your past self after you've done these 15 months in your apprenticeship, what would be like the number one top tip? What would you have said to Jodie 15 months ago?
In my head, like I've taken up like opportunities, but you know, I do more. That sounds so stupid, but opportunities that you might not think might be relevant to you, even if it's terrestrial or anything, you don't know, it could be really useful like in your future. So yeah, I'd probably say something about that. But you know, I have also, everything is about balance, like, and capacity as well. So this is what we talk about a lot on our team. It's like having the capacity right now when we're maybe going through a pandemic is hard, because it's not working at home, it's not normal and stuff. So you know, I might have had the capacity to do a bit more, but as long as you just sort of try your best and sort of try and manage your time as best as you can, yeah, that's sort of what I'd say. Yeah, go on, Kath.
What so is your apprenticeship's linked to a college? What's the college course that you're doing? Is it media related?
So the project is a project by Cornwall Wildlife Trust and Cornwall College. This is where it might get. So the college do the academy side and work with all the schools and stuff, and we do sort of the outreach in the communities and that side. But my specific apprenticeship is with a organisation called Cornwall Marine Network. So they must be an accredited sort of education establishment as well. So so it's through there, and I do business administration. So I should probably, that's something I forgot to mention. So I do a level 3 business admin whilst working on the project, and that, once again, it's been great, and it's something that I probably wouldn't have them skills having not done this, or something that I probably think I wasn't interested in, but actually in the conservation sector it's always useful to have skills like that. So that's who I done it with.
That's really useful. We're thinking of potentially getting an apprentice, so I'm just trying to work out what the options
amazing.
are. So
because obviously we're hiring again if anyone wants to move to Cornwall. But no, I definitely think apprenticeships are great, and I know that some people probably would be like, you've done a degree and then you've gone back and done an apprenticeship, like why? But it's, when this initially came up, when they announced it at the conference, our Yorkshire conference, that they were going to have another apprentice, it was something I knew I wanted to go for. These opportunities are so rare. Unfortunately, this sector is not as funded as what many people would like, and especially to work on this project is amazing. It sort of encompasses all the community stuff and all the youth stuff and all the marine stuff, and it's just I'm bigging it up really a lot, but I think it just shows like the journey that I've been on. I'm just one person from this project, and actually there's so many other young people that have benefited in different ways as well. But yeah, cool. Is there any more questions? I was meant to say that if anyone's got any questions, but nope. Cool. Well, yeah, like I said, if anyone has any more questions about apprenticeships or marine life.
Oh, just very briefly about your about your project's webinars. How do you book onto them? Just
so I should say this. Lydia, I don't know whether you can send out the link.
Yeah, sure can.
Yes, have I said this? No, I don't think I have. So next week I've just done the poster. So it's not all marine stuff. So we got one on rewilding next week. That looks really good, and sustainable seafood, that's next week. But yeah, it's bookable through Eventbrite. That's what we use, and they're all free as well. So yeah, if anyone's interested.
I think I've seen them on Twitter, so you could always just have a quick look at Cornwall Wildlife Trust Twitter account.
Yeah,
is that right? Is it on that one?
Well, they sometimes retweet us, but yeah, it's called YS Beach Rangers on Twitter.
And feel free to share it in the youth forum group, Jodie, if you have like a Facebook post.
I should do that. Yeah.
Feel free to do that.
But yeah, we've got it's not just all marine. We're trying to encompass the different projects that Cornwall Wildlife Trust do as well. So when I was saying about the upstream thinking project, that's tomorrow. So yeah, because the theme for this month's sort of Yorkshire Beach Range project is creating a new normal. So sort of after lockdown, how we going to try and keep some of the changes that we've made sort of for wildlife. So yeah, there is lots going on.
Sorry, how many webinars are you running this month, by the way?
We roughly do about 3 a week.
Nice, quite a few.
Yeah, so yeah, and next week I should say this also. So when I was talking about the Falmouth group that I'm a part of, we have a webinar next Tuesday with our outreach coordinator, Becky. So she has helped coordinate all the school sessions because they've done, so I think it's like 50 or 60 school sessions so far, but this is all volunteering, all through their free time, and so she's going to be speaking about that as well.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, no, we are lucky. My team has sort of embraced all the online stuff and all the webinars and stuff like that. Yeah.
How's it? Sorry, adding more questions. Oh, we've got time. How are you getting much take up on the webinars?
Yeah, so when we kicked off, it was originally always going to be our shark month in April, but then like I said, we moved everything online, and then that was crazy. So on our Zoom we can only have like 100 people, and we were booking them out. Yeah. And obviously over last month was our mental health awareness month. It depends on the topic obviously, but we sort of at least get 20-30 people on each one.
Wow.
Yeah, so the rewilding one's doing quite well. It's got about 60 people. That's the one for next week. So yeah, no, it's been really good. And like, yeah, we've held so many. Oh, that's what I should say. Sorry. About 90% of them are recorded, and they go up on our Cornwall Wildlife Trust Marine YouTube channel. So that, yeah, there's so much on there. There's about blue mines. It's like the whole Cornwall Wildlife Trust Marine team putting their videos on there. So my project does like 3 webinars a week. There's another project called Sea Quest where you go to the cliffs and you look out for marine life. They're doing a webinar every week, and yeah, so there's absolutely loads of videos on there. So yeah, if anyone's got a bit of free time, go check them out. And I'll post that on the OBF group as well.
Yeah, please do, that'd be great.
Yeah, no, it's only we started it obviously during lockdown, and yeah, just been putting loads up on there.
Oh,
Cool.
Does anyone else have any questions for Jodie before I stop the recording? No? Okay, I'm going to stop the recording now.